Another year and another rain threat for the annual Daytona 500. The race, it is set to take place this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern in Daytona Beach, Florida. But with the rain threat looming, it is unclear if weather could delay or even postpone the race.
So as Craig had mentioned, in the last 6 years, we've had 4 out of those 6 races directly affected by the weather. So safe to say if the Daytona 500 is running, there's a good chance that the rain will follow. We need to make like a, it's like red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. We need to make some sort of like rhyme with the Daytona 500 and rain.
Start workshopping it.
Yeah.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
We do want to welcome in Zach Dean, NASCAR columnist with Outkick, for more on what to expect this weekend. Zach, thanks for hanging out with us on Weather Command. I mean, let's go ahead and just drive home why rain is such a bad thing and the risk that is involved when it comes to a wet track for these racers.
Yeah, it's, this will be my 10th Daytona 500 I've covered. And I believe, as you guys pointed out, at least half of them have been impacted by rain, maybe more. So it is constantly a threat for whatever reason. We've just had some bad luck over the last decade or so with this race. But it does change the race because you got to look at when the rain is going to come. Is it going to come in the middle of the race? And if that's the case, then sometimes you're racing to halfway, because in NASCAR world, that's an official race. You get to halfway, you get to end of stage 2, whatever it is. And the leader at that point could win the race if it's red flagged for rain and never resumes. So it does change the race a ton depending on what the forecast says when the rain is going to come, because all of a sudden a 200-lap race could become a 100-lap race really quickly if the rain is forecast to come at, say, 4 o'clock. So it certainly changes it, especially knowing or not knowing when that rain is going to hit.
That's the hard part, because we're sitting here, what's today, Thursday? And so we still have several days. And the type of forecast y'all need, Zach, is a day of forecast. I mean, tracking where a shower or storm could set up, it's nearly impossible in this chaotic system, at least from a time perspective. All right, so we have seen the rainfall, and everything goes viral. It's not always every year, but those air titans that just can blow the track dry, it normally takes a couple of hours for that to happen. But I am wondering, when the rain does move in, and if they're running, who makes the call, and how does the race stop? Do they call it before the rain gets too heavy, or do they call it in the middle of a downpour?
Yeah, it's a point of contention in NASCAR because it's very subjective. Like, sometimes you would like that call to be made before a drop comes down. Other times, because, look at Daytona, for instance. It's a huge track. I mean, it's massive. So you could have rain in turns 3 and 4 or drops in turns 3 or 4. And it could still be sunny in turns 1 and 2. That's how big of a track it is. So you just don't know. And a lot of the times that call comes from the drivers. Drivers can be racing and saying, hey, we got rain on the windshield. It's just too much right now. And enough of that happens, NASCAR will say, okay, let's put a caution out and slow the cars down. Other times, if it's just sprinkles, NASCAR has been known to just plow on through it and see if they get away with it now. But again, at a place like Daytona, it's just so difficult because, again, I've been there before, specifically during the summer races where we've literally had half the track in a downpour. I mean, it looks like the apocalypse on one end of the track, and the other end of the track, it looks like a sunny beach day. So with the size of Daytona, it makes making that call all the more difficult.
Oh my gosh.
Is that crazy? I never thought of it that way.
Never thought of it that way. What a finicky forecast. What a tough forecast and a tough call to make, because this is a huge race. So the decision that is made impacts everybody. Now, we do want to say that NASCAR has what it calls a weather protection program, and that's for when a race is postponed. It allows fans to exchange their tickets for future events, so they'll get another go at it. But in regards to the drivers, if the race is actually postponed, I mean, what do you expect? Or who do you expect that to impact more? Would it be maybe the veteran racers, perhaps the younger racers? How do they typically handle that?
Yeah, it's different for everybody, and you're right. Veterans and rookies, it's a little different. I mean, obviously, veterans like take Kyle Busch, for example. He actually won the pole last night. He is starting on the front row of the Daytona 500. It's his first pole in, I believe, 20 or 21 starts now. He's never won a 500. This is finally his chance. He's starting on the pole. And you just don't know how it's going to impact a young guy. But with a guy like Kyle Busch, who's been here for 2 decades now, who's done this before, he has sat through probably a dozen rain delays at Daytona alone. He probably knows how to handle it a little different. He'll go back to the hauler and hang out with his wife and his kid. The younger guys who have never really been doing this very often, who haven't sat through this, they can be a little finicky, a little jumpy, don't really know what to do. They just want to get back out there. They don't know whether to go sleep. A lot of guys will go in the hauler and sleep. If it's a long rain delay, and I've done this before, I believe it was 2020. It was the year of the Ryan Newman crash and the year that President Trump came during his reelection campaign. There was the red flag was thrown on lap 14 of that race. And there was a rain delay, if I remember correctly, for like the next 6 or 7 hours until NASCAR finally called the race and said, okay, we're just going to come back tomorrow and do it. But that was a long one. I mean, it was late in the night until NASCAR finally called it. So during those instances, you just don't know. Some drivers have left the track and gone across the street to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or whatever to get food. Like, it just sort of depends on where you're at in life. If you have kids in the hauler you want to go hang out with, or if you want to go and cross the street and get food.
I told Stephen this morning, the golden arches of McDonald's,
right.
they
Yes.
will save you.
And oftentimes it comes down to, do you have to watch the kids, or can you go grab a Big Mac combo, right?
Right, or one of those
And
apple
have both.
pies. I will say you had the stats correct. It was that delay a few years back, and it was a 6-hour postponement after only 15 laps, and you have to complete, as you mentioned, 200. So, gosh, that's got to be so. Just the psychology of all of it, waiting and whatnot, but. Okay, well, I'm not going to lie, the forecast isn't looking great, but we'll see what happens.
Hold out hope.
On Sunday. Zach Dean, NASCAR columnist with Outkick. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys.